All right, everybody, welcome to our Facebook Live, our Friday afternoon fun Facebook Live, and we are going to talk today about the on-site arrival. You know, Danny, I don't know about you, but when I grew up, it was my grandfather who taught me how to stand up straight, look somebody in the eyes, shake your hand, and announce who you are. Hey, I'm Joe Crisera. Nice to meet you, right? You think that's missing
Yeah,
in today's society? How did you first learn how to
it
do
is.
that?
Actually, the same way. My grandfather, his name was actually Daniel. I was named after him. He taught
Hmm.
me how to just speak out and say, "My name is Danny," and shake a hand and do a strong handshake. And I definitely think that is something that we have missing
Yeah.
nowadays.
Well, you know, we do a lot of training here, and you've done a lot of training with other teams and things like that. And just to get somebody to introduce themselves is not exactly the easiest thing to get somebody to do, right?
Right.
What does it normally come up with? Do you have any examples of things that you've heard where people just sound awful when they do it?
So actually, it's funny that you say that. So I was actually out yesterday having dinner, and one of my friends was talking about how she had a plumber come out to her house, and they knocked on the door and said, "So where's the problem?" And just like that, and she was kind of taken back, like, "Oh, okay, over here," and it was just
Where's
very
the
uncomfortable.
problem, huh?
Yep.
Well, that's a good way of doing it, I guess. If you're trying to bring problems to the door, I guess that's the way to bring it.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about this on-site arrival. There's different elements. How many different elements are there to a key to having a good on-site arrival? To have a presence that says this is a premium company. It's kind of a wow customer experience right from the very beginning. How many elements are there to this?
So there's four elements to a good, solid on-site arrival. There are three reasons to do a solid on-site arrival: to make no assumptions, make sure you get the correct preferred name that your customer likes to be called, and to show gratitude for being invited into the home.
Hmm.
And then there's four parts to it. So
What are the four parts? Let's go over those individually. What are those?
So the first part is to say something along the lines of, "Hello, who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?"
Hmm.
Right? So just to get them to say their name. So that would
Yeah.
be the first part of it.
And the reason why we want to do that was so instead of assuming the name, hey, are you Bob? Or hey, hello, Mr. Johnson. What's wrong with just making an assumption that, sir, you call somebody sir or something like that? What do you
Yeah.
think of that?
Well, the problem with that assumption is that you don't know who's at the door. I mean, at the end of the day, it could be the neighbor house sitting, right? Or it could be the parents that are out of town.
True. And so to have it wrong kind of gets the wow experience into a poor experience in a way, right? And what's the second part? Finding out the name, what the name they prefer to be called. I know there's a lot of people, especially in the South, who think that everybody likes to call them like Mr. Joe or call everybody sir or address them more like a formal addressing like
Right.
Mr. Johnson or Mr. Smith or whatnot type of thing. But that can really be irritating, I
Hmm.
think, when somebody doesn't like that. If somebody's okay with it, it's okay. But if you don't like it, I tell you what, I've corrected three people 3 or 4 times when they keep calling me sir or they call me Mr. Crisera. I'm like, listen, my name is Joe. You don't need to call me Mr. Crisera. I prefer my first name. And a couple times I keep doing it. I said, you better stop because that's starting to irritate me now, right? I
Right.
literally tell people it's starting to irritate me, right? So that's part of it there. And then, so I guess we're going to try and do a couple examples of what we're talking about. We have the just hello or good morning or good afternoon. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? And then what's after that?
And then, so that second part, you were actually leading right into it to find out the preferred name. So say something along the lines of, "Can I call you Joe?"
Hmm.
Right. So if somebody, and I'll give you a good example of that. So for example, for me, if somebody came to my door and said, "Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?" I would say, "Daniel. My name is Daniel." Right. And then if they said, uh, "Can I call you Daniel?" I would say something along the lines of, "Hey, you can call me Danny. My friends and my family call me Danny."
Hmm.
So if I don't know you, my name is Daniel. But if you ask, I'm Danny. So
I
then
get
it
it.
brings more familiarity, and then you're more of a friend as opposed to just somebody working in the
I get
home.
that. I get that. And then the final piece is what?
Well, two more pieces. So the next one is to say, "Hi there, I'm Danny, and I'm with Service MVP."
To introduce yourself
Right.
now and introduce the company's name, right?
Correct.
Uh, so to recap it, you've got the good morning, good afternoon, or hello. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? They say their name, and then you say, "Is this the name? Is it okay if I call you Bob? You can call me Bobby." Okay, great, Bobby. Nice to meet you. My name is Joe. I'm with Service MVP. You name your name and your company. Of course, you look up and look at the people in the eyes, and you'd look them in the face and tell them all this at the same time. And then the fourth piece, the very final piece, is what?
The most important one of all of them. So gratefulness, saying something along the lines of, "Thank you for inviting me into your home."
Wow. So thank you for inviting me home, and maybe even a double thank you. Thank you for inviting me to your home. Thanks for the opportunity. I really appreciate you inviting me here. Something like that, right?
Mhm.
So we got a couple of things we can do to kind of illustrate what a good greeting looks like, and we'll go over a couple of things that look kind of awful, so you can understand what we're talking about. Now, if you want to test what I'm telling you, everybody, you say like this he's way overrating how important this is, right? Do me a favor and go to your team, go to your service team or your sales team, and ask them, show me how you introduce yourself, and see how much of this they're missing. Are they missing the good morning, good afternoon, hello, like a normal person would say? Uh, who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? Find out the name. Do you prefer if I? Is it okay if I call you Bobby, or is it okay if I call you John? Oh, you can call you Johnny. Thank you, Johnny. Nice to meet you. My name is Joe. I'm with Service MVP with my company, and thank you for inviting me to your home. I really appreciate you inviting me here. It's so nice that you gave me this opportunity. Thank you so much for that. So think about that, everybody. Let's take an audit of your team, and you're saying like, why do my sales kind of suck right now? Most likely, you're probably starting out on the wrong foot. And Danny, when you start on the wrong foot, how hard is it to get back on track?
Very hard. Almost impossible. You have to start off on the right foot. This on site arrival is setting the expectation and the tone for the rest of the call, right?
Because once you make a bad first impression, it's very hard to get away from that first impression, and you kind of screwed it up. That's what's important here. So let's go ahead and try a bad one first. I'll be the bad technician who normally just says things and makes a lot of assumptions. Here we go. Ready? I'm going to knock on that door. Actually, we're doing the famous doorbell. Ding dong. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hey,
It's
I
going
guess I
good.
guess we got a broken. Your furnace is broken.
Well, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with it. I I guess it's broken.
So what do you want? What's going on then?
Well, I guess you can take a look at it. I don't know what's going on. That's why you're here.
Let's go take a look. And that's what that's
That's
what it would look like if it's not designed. Most likely, that's what it's going to sound
yeah.
like. You know.
When it's unintentional,
I'll
right?
try it again. One more time. One more time. You do the doorbell.
Ding dong. Err.
So what's going on today?
I guess my furnace is not working.
I guess I'm here to fix the heater, right?
I mean, I don't know yet. Can you tell me what's wrong at least, or
I have no idea. I have no clue what's wrong. So
you want to take a look, or
yeah, let's go. I might as well go look at it.
okay?
Something like that. That's what you're looking at. It looks like two people fishing for the right way to introduce each other, right? Now, of course, the customer's not trained and they are going to be out of control and they're going to have their own things they're going to do. But you are trained and there's no excuse for it. There's no excuse to not have you on board when we do this, right? So let's go over the right way to do it now. Let's say Danny's going to do the right way. He'll be the service technician that has it down pat. And here we go on that one. You ready, Danny?
I'm ready.
Ding dong.
Hi, who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Oh, my name is Joe.
Hey, Joe. Can I call you Joe?
Yeah, that's my name. Yeah.
Good. Hi, Joe. My name is Danny, and I'm with Service MVP. I just want to thank you for inviting me into your home today.
Well,
Thanks for the
thank you for
opportunity.
coming out. I appreciate that. It's so nice of you.
Yeah.
You want a cup of coffee or something?
Yeah, I'll take a cup of coffee. Yeah.
You get a cup of coffee. So it already starts out on the right foot, and you could change that around. You could be like, good morning. If it's a morning time, you say, good morning. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? Uh, my name is Jerry. Hey, Jerry. My name is Joe. Is it okay if I call you Jerry? Yeah. So if you want to make sure you got the right name, ask people if it's okay to use that name. Make sense? That's the way to do it. That's the way to get the best traction on this. How far does it get you? Well, here's what I feel. I feel it kind of creates a presence in the home that we have a professional in our home. What do you think about that, Danny?
Absolutely, 1000%. I agree with you, and I think that it also it shows them who you are, right? It shows them someone who makes no assumptions. You're somebody who makes no assumptions, and somebody who is grateful, like a grateful person, grateful for the opportunity, for the hospitality, uh, for being able to come into their home.
And the human mind is really kind of putting together small bits of evidence to see if this is somebody that is competent, that I can trust with his competence, somebody who has good character, that he was not going to steal from me, that
Hmm.
he's somebody who's got my best interest in mind, and somebody who's good, can communicate, right? So, character, competence, and communication. This is what every customer is evaluating on every single call when it comes to you, the service provider, right? If you don't get this right, they're already thinking this guy doesn't know what he's doing. But on the other hand, what does it say when somebody can really nail this and sound confident and get this down right? What does it say about the ability to get the work done to the consumer? What they can, even though you may not know what you're doing, but what's the illusion that is being created by this arrival?
I think it directly reflects competence and confidence, trustworthiness.
Yeah, like if somebody's this good at communicating and being that
Hmm.
confident, if they're confident to come to my door and do that and be like confident about that, they're probably going to know what they're doing when they get down to my furnace too. And you're going to defer to the expert. There's so many reasons why people don't make a purchase. It could be like the branding is not right, it looks sloppy on the brand or some kind of homemade brand. It looks like the service provider maybe shady and shifty, looking down at his shoes, never looking people in the eyes. It could be just the way they communicate with a lot of ifs or buts or maybes. We're using weak language and things like that. And so I want everybody this week to start the new year and this new year where everybody is on board with at least, I'd say, locking your people in a room and not letting them leave until they got this down. I'm going to guarantee if you did an individual audit with your team, you'd find it to be awful. Now, Danny, you did train a team of like 15 people. You worked in
I
North Carolina,
did.
right?
I did.
What was it like
I
when you
did.
tried to get people just to do this one part?
They thought it was the weirdest thing. It was very awkward at first for them to say, "Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?"
Hmm.
I didn't realize how much they were not used to introducing themselves or asking without making an assumption of who they were talking to.
Yeah, I mean, I think every company, like I know Dan Antonelli does this branding initiative to get the brand down right, and
Hmm.
it does a great job with it, right? But we do so much to make the brand look good before when the doorbell rings or before the phone rings. What effort do we have to make after the doorbell rings and after the phone rings? Does that make sense, sir?
Yeah, a much greater effort, I would think. That's where the actual client experience begins, right? When
Mm-hmm.
you are at the door.
Well, not just, even then. Going before, how about for the office staff? Does this apply to
Oh
the
yeah,
office staff too? Would you say?
absolutely, 100%.
So when somebody answers the phone, it's like there's some awful ways to answer the phone. Uh, Jackson Heating and Air Conditioning, and that's it. They leave it drop. I'm Melinda. How can I help you? That's pretty much it. As opposed to saying, what would that? How would this apply to a telephone script? You want me to try that, or you got that one?
Yeah, no, it would apply the same way. Go ahead.
Try it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll get that phone ringing. Right. Bring. Hey, it's a great day at Service MVP. How can I make you smile?
That's it.
Then you say what?
Hey, my name is Danny. Can you help me?
Well, first of all, you called the right place. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
I'm Danny.
Hey, Danny. My name is Joe with Service MVP again. And thank you for calling us. I really appreciate you calling us. It makes me feel good to have people like you who call us that need our help. So tell me what's going on with that furnace.
Man, it's not working.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you called the right place again. Can I go ahead and tell you how we work?
Please.
Then we just go into the script. So the bottom line is that whether you're in the office or whether you're in the field, there's a certain presence that you give off, a certain confidence, competence, communication, and character that's established by the way you first meet and greet people. Don't assume that you got it down pat. Go ahead and listen to yourself and see what it sounds like. If you start to smile when you hear your office staff answer that phone, you're probably on the right track. If you start to wonder, like, I never thought about that, I never really thought about how we did this, then you're probably not on track. I'll guarantee that. What are the odds that people would just figure this out on their own, Danny?
Probably zero.
Right.
I was like, I would look for it and I still couldn't find it. So
Uh,
chances are that you don't just stumble into these things or doing these things right unless you're actually practicing. So
Well, good. Well, that's this week's Facebook Live. Only 15 minutes, but 15 minutes you can use with your team to help train them and get them better. Hey, don't forget, this is one of the elements we're going to use on our WOW
that's right.
customer service experience escape room when we have our True Grit seminar in March in San Antonio, Texas, right?
That's right.
Are you excited about this
I am.
element?
I'm so excited about that, and we'll have our great team there that'll show you how we answer the phone as well here, and we'll be able to talk about that and show you all of that.
We got
So
the
be sure
wow.
to join us.
Yeah, the on-site arrival or the introduction is definitely one of these wow type of things that sets you apart from your competition. We hope you can make it to True Grit. Go to servicesalessummit.com and join up. We'll all be there. We have the escape room experience, and it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, everybody, you have a great one. We will see you again next week on our Facebook Live. Goodbye, everybody.